Hello, everyone. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jake. Jake is from Toronto, in Canada. So let's see what Jake has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Jake.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm very well. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Wow. Yeah.
How's your day going?
It's been good actually. It's already evening here in London. It's 7:30 right now, so it's been a good day today. It's quite warm actually. I was talking to a friend today that we are in the fall, the autumn is here, but sometimes some days it just feel like summer.
Yeah, we've been having a few weeks like that here in Toronto, but this week, like for the first time, it's actually starting to feel like fall,
Uh-huh.
and it's been a bit of a shock. Pretty chilly.
So you are born and raised in Toronto?
No, I grew up in the U.S., but I've lived here for pretty much my entire adult life. I moved here when I was 19.
Wow. And where you come from originally?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Actually, I think I had a few guests on the show from Cleveland here on the show, actually. At least two for sure.
Yeah, it's an interesting place. I think it's gotten more interesting since I've left. It was
And all
not
your
super interesting when I grew up.
and all your family are back there?
Yes,
See.
yes.
And why the change from the US to Toronto, to Canada?
So, a couple things, but I moved here originally because I was going to school, to university. I went for my first year in Indiana, and it was fine, but it was like super expensive. So I had to find somewhere else to go to transfer to at the end of my first year.
I see.
And at the time, I was in an online relationship with a Canadian guy, as you know, per the American stereotype. And so, yeah, he kind of turned me on to, just the fact that education is a lot more affordable in Canada. So I transferred up here to finish my degree and then decided to stick around.
Amazing. And do you see yourself living in Toronto for a long while?
Oh, yeah, like Toronto is home now. I've been here, yeah, that was almost 20 years ago. You can believe
Wow.
that.
I'm coming to Canada in 10 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What part?
I'm going to Montreal. My best friend, he lives in Montreal, and my godson is going to turn 4 years old. So I'm coming for his birthday.
Oh, that's so nice.
Can't wait.
Yeah, Montreal is lovely. I was there just a couple months ago, and yeah,
Beautiful.
it's a gorgeous place.
Yeah, I try to go once a year. I was there for Christmas last year, and it's cool. I've been to Toronto as well. I think the first time when I went to Canada, actually, I explored Toronto, and yeah, such a great time. Tell me, what do you do for work, for living, Jake?
So there's a couple answers to that. One is that my day job, I work in the financial industry as an educational coordinator. So I facilitate sort of the classroom setup for stuff like that. And then in my off time, I make adult content and I'm an escort.
Wow, you're a busy man.
Yeah, I keep pretty busy. But, that's the nature of the Toronto life. You gotta hustle.
I see. Yeah, I think living big cities, expensive, you need to find a way to survive. There's a lot of
Exactly.
expensive. I don't understand. And okay, so through the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life, about your joys overall, okay?
For sure. Sounds good.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah, sign me up. 100%.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my best friend. couple of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Yes, you always can join me dancing. Right, Jake, before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Cool.
First question for you is, what is the worst thing someone can say on a first date?
Wow. That's a very big category, but like I think just generally talking about yourself too much is something that you should avoid. It's always better to ask questions than to just yammer on. But I would say like the worst thing you could probably say it's just like anything that makes you seem a little too arrogant. Like if someone were to like criticize, if we were out at a restaurant or something and someone was like overly critical about like the staff, that to me is generally like a
turn off.
Red flag.
Yeah. One person to go on a date with you, what this person must have?
They've gotta have good conversation skills.
Okay.
Like people who like to ask questions, people who like to get curious. That's because otherwise you don't have anything to play off of, you know? You've got no back and forth.
For sure. Yeah. Next question. All right. Next question for you is, what is your morning ritual?
Ooh, so this is a good one. So like in the mornings when I work from home, I get up, I have a cup of coffee, and then I throw on my running clothes and I go for a run. And then I usually run like 5K. And then when I come home, I do a little bit of a home workout while I make my breakfast, which I like to have usually scrambled eggs, peanut butter on toast, and a banana. And then once that's all done, I fire up my laptop and get to work.
Do you consider yourself to be a day or night person?
Kind of in the middle, to be honest. Like, I think if I had no, schedule, no like work appointments to keep, things like that, and just were left to my own devices, I would probably sleep from like 1 a.m. until like 9 a.m. and then just be up during the day. But lately, I've been getting into like a really good morning routine, and I've become a bit more of a morning person. And now if I'm like, asleep past 10, I'm just like, I'm exhausted for the day. I'm just a zombie the whole time.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Before the next question, tell me how the idea of create adult content and being escorts came into your life.
So the content came first, and I actually made my first scene with like a really small studio. It must be like 12 or 13 years ago. And I would kind of like film like every once in a while, because at that time like the fan sites hadn't really become a thing yet, so yeah, when opportunities would come up, I would I'd go for it. And then earlier this year, it kind of occurred to me that by doing adult content, it's already a sex worker anyway. So I might as well just jump in and try escorting. And it's been really, really fun and like really empowering work. Like I've met some really interesting people. I, you know, get to sort of focus on them and you know what they sort of want to get out of the experience. And you know, sometimes it's quite sexual, but also sometimes it's just like they want some company. Like I've had some really good conversations. Sometimes it feels a bit like therapy, but ultimately they get to tell me, you know, what they want, like how, because we don't often really allow ourselves to like pursue what we want or feel okay with putting ourselves first. I let people share their needs, their wants, their interests, and we put them first, and I get to learn a lot about them by doing it, and I get to learn some things about myself as well. So yeah, it's been really just a lot of fun, but it took honestly just kind of a moment of really being just kind of curious about what would it be like, and then jumping in head first.
Amazing. Very good. Next question is, what is the strangest or the funniest gift have you ever received?
I would say, I think I can remember when I was a kid getting a like a rubberized, like a kind of fancy, like Jurassic Park dinosaur toy. But it was this weird one where like a patch of like the flesh was removable, so that if you were like, I guess if you were playing and somebody else had one and their dinosaur attacked yours, then you could like pop out the little piece, and it was like but it was just strange because at that time I really hadn't really expressed any interest in dinosaurs, and was like pretty squeamish about like gory things. I've since now changed. I love Jurassic Park now, and like, you know, all kinds of scary movies and things. But at the time, it was just it was kind of weird. It was a bit of an out of character thing for someone to give me.
How was growing up as a gay boy back in Ohio?
Not easy. I kept it to myself. Pretty much. You know, the entire time. It wasn't until I was in like my last year of high school that I even sort of allowed myself the possibility to think that like that I might be gay. And even now, I don't really identify as gay. I'm pansexual. But that's also been a whole journey in and of itself, because like when I was, you know, first kind of coming out, I think it was enough to be like, it was enough of a challenge for people to get their head around just the idea of me being gay. So to throw the wrench in the whole thing of like, I don't actually know who I like. I don't know if I could narrow it down to like just one gender. I'm only just now actually feeling comfortable to really start exploring that part of myself more. And it is because like it's just life becomes like a constant series of coming out and coming out and coming out again. So yeah, I kind of kept it to myself until the end of high school. then I started telling some friends, and then I didn't start coming out to my family until my first year of university, when I had moved one state over to Indiana. I can remember that I told my mom on the very last day of spring break, so that if things went weird, I'd just be going back to school, so I could just kind of run away. But she was great. She kind of already knew, and she kind of was able to sort of help me come out to like the rest of the family while I was away at school. So once I finally took the plunge, things got a lot better. But I really had to do a lot of work to give myself the permission and convince myself that I could do that.
Amazing. Good. Very good. It's funny you say pansexual. I made a note here, actually. I had a lovely girl, Italian girl she's Italian, but she's living in Spain right now. And she educated me about being pansexual, because since then I wasn't very educated about it. And now I understand a bit more about being pansexual. Very good.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot to understand. There's a lot to learn. I feel like it's me, but I'm still learning a lot about, what it actually is to be. Just to kind of be open to all kinds of people.
Absolutely.
Fun.
Next question, Jake. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
You are a good dancer, I can see.
Thank you.
Next question for you is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where that would be and why?
Ooh, that's a really hard question, because I have a list.
What's the top one, the very top in your list?
Probably San Francisco.
Okay.
Or at least, somewhere in California. But I've always suspected, despite growing up in the eastern United States, now eastern Canada, that I am more of a West Coast kind of guy. But I went, I guess it was probably about 10 years ago now, but I went out to California, to San Francisco, and it was just... It's such a lovely place. I'm not really wildly attached to having seasons. I'm kind of okay if it's I like the idea of California from the summer most of the year perspective of it. But yeah, just the thing about San Francisco in particular is, as they say, if you don't like the weather, wait an hour or two, because it'll change, or just go to a different part of town, because everything happens there, and it's there's so much natural beauty as well. It's definitely one of my favorite places, but also Nice is really nice.
Wow, totally, completely away from each other, apart from each other.
Oh, totally. I think the through line, though, is water. I think it's, I'm one of those people, I think it's important to live near some water.
In the French side and American side, both different sides.
And that's fine, because I'm a Canadian American, so.
Do you speak French as well, Jake, or not?
Ah oui, je parle français assez bien, mais j'ai pas un accent canadien, j'ai un accent plus parisien, je pense.
Wow.
French was one of my majors in
Wow.
university.
It's interesting. The first time when I got to Montreal and, the Canadians talking French, I was like, oh my God, they don't have French accent. How funny. It's so funny. My friend, he's French, and when I arrived for the first time, I didn't know that, and I was talking to to Canadians, to French. I was like, oh my god, they don't have French accent. When they speak English, of course, they have American accent. I found so interesting. So yeah, very good.
And then when they speak French, it's actually, I had a very hard time understanding French Canadian accent
Nice.
speaking French when I first got here. I've gotten a little bit more used to it.
Good. Ready for another one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it. Next question. All right. Next question is, who are you most thankful for and why?
So this question, it's two people. They're both very important to me. They're both my partners. Yeah, I have one partner that I've been with for now over 15 years.
Mhm.
And then another that I have been with for just over 3 years. And without them, I certainly wouldn't be the person I am, and I wouldn't have the confidence to put myself out there the way that I do. It's a lot easier to run headlong into things knowing that, at the end of the day, I've got people who really care about me to be there to catch me in good times and bad. And so and then there's also from kind of a safety and logistics standpoint, doing the work I do, it's important that there are people who know what I'm doing and who know, if I don't come home at the end of the night, there's two people I know who will notice. And that is not something that all escorts have the luxury of, so yeah, someone would really miss me if I went missing, and that is just really, I feel a lot safer, just in general in my life because of these two wonderful people.
Totally. I think having people who we trust, who cares about us, and it's a plus in our life for sure. Both of them, they are Canadian or not?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
3 questions left for you, Jake. Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey, Jake from Toronto in Canada. Next question is, what does family mean to you?
So family means, I feel like that's the start of a line from the movie. Family means not leaving anyone behind. No, I don't know. So I definitely used to think that family is the people that you're born with, and that's certainly a group of family. But I live here away from the people I grew up with, so I've got my own chosen family now. That's who I'm roasting these vegetables for, and that's who I'm going to go have dinner with in a little bit.
Oh.
So it's the people who make you feel comfortable, that you want to surround yourself with. It's the people you can really, for the most part, that you can stand to be around without getting real tired.
Yeah, I think it's so empowering and powerful when you realize that family is the person who, you know what I mean, not just where you're born, but with you're born with, like around you. But when you know that people chosen family, they can be such closer to you, and sometimes even closer than, your family member. I think you just feel safer more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. There are people that I can tell, all of my friends, my closest friends here, they know all the work that I do. I don't know that it's necessarily a conversation I'm ready to have with the family back home yet. One day, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah. 2 questions left. Let's do it.
Cool.
Before the next question, tell me when you arrive in Toronto. Yeah. Tell me
Yes.
what was the most difficult part for you to adapt yourself to a new city in a new country.
So the short answer is using public transit. I grew up in the suburbs, so we would just walk or drive anywhere. So moving here and learning how to find how to get to the closest subway station by bus, because at the time the university I went to did not have a subway stop on campus. So there was that. Also, it was really hard to get used to how unpleasant the winters in Toronto are, because where I grew up is not actually, it's not very far away from here.
Okay.
But because Toronto is very humid all year round, I think it's because it's built on a swamp. So when the winter comes, it's a special kind of cold. It is a gross, wet, get into your bones kind of cold.
Oh my God.
Where I grew up, we had a lot of snow, and it would get cold, but it never felt as cold as it does here. And that really caught me off guard because I thought I'd be ready for it.
Never ready for the cold.
Nope.
Not a bit. Next question is, you know when the world went upside down like 3 years ago? Yeah, something called coronavirus, something like that. Yeah, that somehow, went everywhere. Tell me, in your experience, what's the positive outcome like that came out for you during that time?
That's a really good question. For me, it was a bit of a reset. So for context, I moved from sort of like the outskirts of Toronto down into our very busy and bustling LGBT village in July of 2019. So just before the world closed down. And during that 5 months, things just got really, really quite busy. Being down amid the hustle and bustle, like just very socially busy, like very, very, I was starting to feel a bit spread thin. And so the pandemic actually ended up being kind of a good opportunity for a reset, because things slowed way, way, way down. But then when things started opening back up, I had the wisdom of experience to recognize how I felt before the pandemic, how I felt a little bit overwhelmed. And so I was able to approach re-entering civilized society in, or at least I'm trying to, in a way where yeah, I'm just a little bit more focused, a little bit more discerning about what I choose to spend my time on, and making sure that I'm a little bit more intentional about taking time for self-care. So that sort of hard reset really was the body from the car wreck,
Yes, I think it was a very good opportunity for everyone to, even if you didn't want to, you had no choice, you're locked. You need to somehow get into it, deep into it. I think all of us, we had a big opportunity. It was necessary. Ready for the last question?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Last one. But before the last question, tell me, if you could choose anyone to collaborate on your platform, creating adult content, you could choose any person, which person would be and why?
Oh, my goodness. Off the top of my head, I would choose Mr. Deep Voice. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he has a very nice, as his name implies, lovely low voice, and he's very handsome. I would say Mr. Deep Voice in a heartbeat.
Where he's from? But he lives in Canada or not?
No, he's either American or British. Okay. I want to say he's British.
And he creates as well adult content.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So hopefully this interview gonna get to him somehow, and he's gonna contact you. You know what? I heard you talking about me in a show called William the Magic Box. How about if we get in touch and do something out of it?
Yeah. Call me.
Don't tell me to tell me after. I need to receive like a private scene, like as a gift from my, the way that you guys contact for the show. Yeah, you're gonna send like
exactly. Well, a thank you video.
Scene. Yeah, a private scene, video just between both of you, just in private, just for me.
Perfect.
Last question for you is: what do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
I mean, there could be a whole list on that, but I think the most important thing is just how well do you live together? How well do you if you, going back to the that pandemic question, that sort of who could you survive being locked in a box with for 2 years? If you can find someone who gives you a positive answer to that question, then you got a pretty good bet.
Very good, very good. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Not enough.
Family.
Important.
One word for sex.
Amazing.
I like the way you say amazing. Love.
Spiritual.
Fear.
Driving force.
Ooh. Friendship.
Indispensable.
Politics.
Annoying.
It can be. Religion.
Troublesome.
Say again?
Troublesome.
Desire.
I think I've already said important, but it is important.
I repeat again. I got okay. Regret.
Oh no, I've said important to two of them.
Oh, I see. It's okay.
But yeah.
Regret?
Overrated.
Success?
Hard to define.
Wish?
Desire.
Happiness?
A journey.
One word for Ohio.
Boring.
Ooh.
I know. I'll make some enemies, I'm sure.
Or people gonna agree. They're gonna look like, yes, I know what he's talking about. One word for USA.
The past.
One word for Toronto.
The future.
And Canada, one word.
Freedom.
The last one now. Adult content creator, one word.
Exciting.
Actually, one more. Escorting, one word.
Empowering.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to all the way to Canada in 10 days, and I'm going to get another flight to Toronto from Montreal, and I'm going to meet your both partners together for a coffee. And I'm going to ask them, you both need to decide in one word to define Jake in a positive word and one negative word only, what they would say.
So I think the positive would be caring. On the other hand, also would say probably takes on too much.
Listen to your partners. They know what they're talking about. They know you very well. Listen to them.
It's true.
Let's play now, Jake, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Right, you can ask me a question now, Jake.
Okay. So I, as I mentioned earlier, have been roasting some vegetables for Thanksgiving dinner tonight. If you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be and why?
Oh my God, lovely question, lovely question. The first one that came to my mind, it's lettuce. Yeah, I don't know if it's a vegetable. It's considered a vegetable. It is, isn't it? Lettuce.
Totally.
Tell you
yeah.
Growing up, I just loved it. I just loved the smell of it. Very fresh. I remember my mom, we had in the garden, and I remember her like taking the washing and put very fresh in the bowl with some sauce. That for me, if I could be, and then just because it connects with my childhood and also the taste of it was so nice and very healthy. Lettuce for sure. The leaves of lettuce. That's always had a good connection. I always liked it. Amazing. That's for me the best for sure. And actually, if I may say something that I like tomatoes. Yeah, I like tomato, but I eat tomato as fruits because I literally I don't put any sauce or anything. I literally eat tomato as a fruit because it's something that I like a lot. But I would say lettuce for you for sure. No question.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I totally get what you mean. I always have a like a big box of just like little ones, just to like grab like a handful as like a snack.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good for you. They have like no calories.
That's the best part.
Exactly.
Jake, did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much for being so sweet. And actually, now I understand why when I approached you for us to do the interview, and you said, "Oh, Willie, can we do this time?" Now I understand it's because today's it's the holiday season, and you are going for dinner with friends or your partners. It's amazing. Now I understand why it feels cozy now. I feel cozy just knowing that you're gonna have a nice meal now with your loved ones. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be really delightful. I'm very excited.
Sweet. Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
So I would just say be curious. That is, if there's one lesson, because that is the way you get to know yourself, what you're capable of, what you like, what you don't like. And it's also the quickest way to have empathy for someone else, is just to be curious about what it's like for them.
Amazing. I think being curious, it just takes you in such a, a long journey, because you're going to learn a lot being curious. I think it's empowering. Thank you so much. Enjoy your meal tonight, and you keep in touch. Okay, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Take care.
Have a safe trip to Canada.
Oh my God, yes, can't wait. Thanks so much. Take care.
My pleasure. Ciao.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.